Hillary Clinton's already running, and really, aside from not lying and deleting emails, what's the difference? Why vote for you?
Well, Hillary may talk the talk, but if you look at the walk, it's not been good, not to mention these horrific wars, these catastrophic wars, not only voting for Iraq, but for leading the charge into Libya. So I will not sleep well if Donald Trump gets elected, but I won't sleep well if Hillary Clinton gets elected. We live in a democracy. We have other choices, and people deserve to know
Okay, well,
about
let's
that.
hear more about you. Let's turn to questions about the economy first, this segment. We took our cameras outside the studio. Someone wants to ask you this.
How would you create jobs?
How would you create jobs?
So it's not rocket science. Our economy is in a bit of a tailspin right now. They say we're in a recovery, but for most people it's still an emergency.
How would you create jobs?
So what I will do is do like we did before. When in the Great Depression, we created a New Deal, but we would call for a Green New Deal. I know it's all your favorite things rolled into one package. But we need jobs now on an emergency basis. So we would create an emergency jobs program, but focusing on green jobs in clean
Government-funded green jobs.
Well, no, actually, not just government-funded. We would seek to create those jobs through small businesses, through worker cooperatives, through nonprofits, with government as the employer of last resort. But the idea is we need to get this job done, because it's not just a economic emergency. We also have a climate emergency with the fires and the floods and the sea level rise that's not that far away. So we can solve two emergencies at once and move to 100% clean renewable energy by 2030 in time to solve the climate crisis. And by the way, because I know you will ask, it actually pays for itself in health savings alone. I know that sounds rather staggering, but
rather
in fact,
unbelievable. But look, we'll get to the green issues later.
Okay,
Let's not
all right,
try to
good.
do them all at once. I asked people on social media for questions for you. On Twitter, David Shrake asked, are you concerned with the national debt? It's $19 trillion.
Yes. However, when you're in debt and the economy is stalled, the worst thing that you can do is impose austerity, and the best thing that you can do
Are we imposing austerity now?
Well, we have been. I mean,
What's austerity?
Austerity means cutting back on the programs that people...
But we haven't. The spending just keeps going up.
Well, we may have, but that's like military, and that's also health care. These are boondoggles for corporations that are pushing the spending up. But as far as everyday people are concerned, for housing, for health care, for jobs, for social services...
Spending's up.
That spending has actually crashed. Those programs have been starved to death. So
But they're spending more money. How are they starved?
Well, they're spending more money on other things. They're spending more money on the war. In fact,
on social programs, too. They've increased more than
well, let me agree
war
that
spending.
Healthcare has gone through the roof because Obamacare has been a boondoggle for insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies.
Who has the first question here?
Hi, Dr. Stein. I was wondering if you had any specific criteria on whether to nationalize an industry.
So,
nationalize meaning government takes it over.
Yes. That's not in our plans at the moment. However, if we were bailing out, for example, if the banks were being bailed out right now, we would be breaking up the big banks and creating public banks that truly serve the public instead of getting rich at the taxpayer's expense.
On Facebook, David Franklin posted, you say one of your key values is social justice. How do you define this, and what data can you point to in support of this position?
It's like saying, explain to me what justice is. You know, if you don't know what justice is, I am sorry for you. Justice is, what can I say? You know about the golden rule? Have you heard about the golden rule, this idea of do unto others? this concept that we live together in a society, and we're kind of on one boat. You know, we're sort of on one boat. More and more, it gets to be a smaller boat all the time because of how we are interconnected through our economy, through our environment, our climate, through these wars that are blowing back at us all over the place. So the idea of justice is essentially do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That is my sense of justice, and I think the American people understand that entirely.